Hello and welcome to Career Success, the show where we explore the stories, lessons, and insight of those who have walked the path of purpose and risen to the top of their professions. You are watching us on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting live from the prestigious School of Eloquence studio in Ikoyi, Lagos, Nigeria. If you are looking for career inspiration, this is your place. My name is Sunday Ewolabi and I'm going to be your host today. Today's guest is a powerhouse in the world of entrepreneurship and publishing. He is Samson Ojeagbase, the editor of Success Digest, Nigeria's #1 life transformation magazine. For over a decade, he has used his platform to spark the entrepreneurial revolution across the country, guiding everyday Nigerians on how to build wealth, not just riches, but wealth with peace of mind. He is a seasoned business leader, an employment creator, and a firm believer in the principle that success comes to those who put in the work. Welcome, Mr. Samson Ojeagbase. Welcome to Success.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, Success Digest,
your
defining publication, has stayed on for over 3 decades. Now, we live in a climate where companies don't move from good to great. So, what is the differentiating thought pattern that has led you to not only create success, but sustain the success?
Thank you very much for that question. So, well, when my parents started Success Digest, it was a mission for them because in 1984, they started the first sports publication in Nigeria. That's Complete Sports. They went to Complete Sports. So the process they went through, building a business, it was difficult. I mean, my dad would tell you a lot. It was very difficult. So when it got to a point where he looked back and said, if I don't teach people how to climb this ladder also, a lot of people will just fall out. And then, at that point in time, Nigeria was, if you're not working for government, maybe you have to do something shady, but there was no business, quote and unquote. People had this idea that you can't succeed as a business person. So my dad was set out with my mom to redefine that paradigm. And they did that with Success Digest. So in 1995, they published first edition of Success Digest. And the goal from then till tomorrow, I said tomorrow because I'm still working on it, is to show people that there's a way to make money legitimately, peace of mind. So going forward to your second part of the question, how do we keep it going? I grew up in business. I usually spend a lot of time with my parents. So I read a lot of the books there, and I also enjoy what it means because you see people coming up to you and saying, hey, your dad, your mom changed my life. So it's not just about the material things, about the things that you cannot feel, the intangibles, So what can I do to inspire the next generation? I mean, that's what I'm doing now. Showing people that irrespective of what's happening in the country, because I look at the similarities between 1990s and 2025 in terms of the economy was not the best. People were just struggling. But even at that, there are people that are still succeeding. And with the information in Success Digest, I want to show people that irrespective of what's happening, if you want it, you'll get it.
I see. So here on Achievement Channel and Career Success specifically, we believe that success is contagious. That's why we bring in people like you, accomplished professionals, to let our viewers into their world and how they've been able to navigate. So we see a story of generational transfer of success now. But you are operating in a climb, in a business sector, publishing, that is very difficult, very difficult. Have you been able to navigate the challenges on the path?
So I remember we had a conversation before this interview started. Where Uncle Bong mentioned my parents had this foresight. So he knew that publishing would go from newspaper to the online space. And like I said, we've been working together on it. So what I was doing, my own training, if you will, under him was to transfer the business to the online space. Now, we also have Complete Sports. So my brother also had that same training to transfer. So I would say our dad saw the future and we bought into it. So it was a planned thing. Things don't happen by accident. So this is the plan. This is what we want to do next. And it's one thing for the parent to say, this is what we should do. And for the next generation to buy into it.
Exactly.
Because I see it, my own personal philosophy on generational thing is like building a skyscraper, if you will. The person that builds the foundation is not the person that is going to roof it. So my parents have built the foundation, a very strong foundation. So my job is to take it to the next step, to the next floor. And God willing, if I depart from this our beautiful world, I will hand the same thing over to my children, and that is how it's going to be. So it's a philosophy. Our parents trained us well, and we bought into a lot of their philosophy. So it was just natural. This is the next step. This is what we can do to move forward. And we bought into it, and we are doing just that. So it's a planned game.
Oh, I see. So you see, most of us, when we hear entrepreneurship, what comes to mind is profit.
Yeah.
And when you talk about profit, what comes to most people's mind is pecuniary profit. But there's a kind of profit that isn't pecuniary. You alluded to it in your earlier response. So how do you feel when people tell you that your publication, Success Digest, changed my life?
Well, to quote the cultural lingo, my shoulder pad goes up. So
I see.
Because making money is important, but let's not lie to ourselves. You can't use goodwill to buy rice in markets. But apart from the money in the bank, when you have people seeing positive things. There's an example now. We run adverts for Success Digest. We'll publish a new edition first of every month. We post it on our social media platforms. And then people come up and say, your dad did this, your dad did that. Even when we did 3 years anniversary remembrance of his passing. And then all the comments were positive. It's not something money can buy. So yes, that should have has come up. And
it comes up. I get it. So you see, most people would say Samson is doing very well because he grew from the scratch to the summit. From childhood days, you're already getting the values and virtues of entrepreneurship from your dad, from your mom. But there are young Nigerians who are currently watching us right now who feel overwhelmed. What piece of advice do you have to fuel their enthusiasm?
I know how you feel. The country is really difficult, and there are a lot of things pulling you apart. But there's this prayer. I'll just quote it part important. God give me the courage to accept what I can change. No, accept what I cannot change. The courage to work on things that I can change, and then the wisdom to know the difference. So there are some things you cannot work on. You have to accept that. That's where that prayer comes in. And then the second part of prayer is courage, because what you need to do to succeed in a country that is pulling you apart is to focus. It's hard to focus. The average young person is doing SEO marketing, content creation, trying to do so many things at the same time because, something must click. But the beauty of life is when you focus on one thing, just keep, there's this, I think was it Bruce Lee that said it, like if you kick, he's afraid of the guy that kicks a tree 10,000 times than the guy that is trying to learn different techniques. Why is that? Because if you've been able to kick a tree for 10,000 times, you've learned how to mess the opponent up. It's about focusing on something and doing it so well that it can't be ignored. And the beauty of life is when you do something, when you take your time to work on something, a value generating skill, you get to a point where you can start turning into money. And then the beauty of focus is that you become a specialist. I'd rather have a specialist repairing my car, maybe the engine of my car, than have a generalist mechanic that's checking the on. No, you want the specialist.
Try and
work
error.
on this particular engines. And when you give the person does it fantastically well. That is what you need to get. Of course, at the point when you become a specialist in one area and start making your money, you can then begin to spread your wings and try other things. But the core foundation is there. So what I'll say is focus. Just pick one thing and focus on it. I know it's difficult because the economy is the way the economy is, but just focus on one thing, just one thing, and give yourself 6 months. One thing, 6 months. You come and thank me for it, okay?
All right. So in a world full of distractions, focus is what remains the ingredient for surmounting the overwhelming challenges of early start. Okay, so a running theme in Success Digest and what you say often is the wealth to peace of mind.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, do you want money that you looking at your back as you're walking outside your house? Nobody wants that. My dad was a big believer. My parents, even, they are big believers in making money and not having any issues with anyone. Even in the community where we live, there's a certain level of respect because you have the money, but how did you get the money? I mean, when it passed, nobody was coming to knock at our door and say, your daddy did this one or did that one. Anybody that came was, he was a great man. So wealth with peace of mind means you do business in such a way that you are at peace with God, one, and at peace with your fellow man. So that means all those shady business deals, all those, you clean your hand off it. You're not going to go into all that. If you say A is A. It's more about integrity. You rather lose the money than lose your peace of mind. I know it's easy to say from a position of comfort, but when you think about it, what shall it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I mean, the Bible says it best.
Yeah, one word.
Yeah.
All right, I see. Yeah, what are the non-negotiable habits of highly successful people? But then, that will be after the break.
Okay.
Viewers at home, we will be going on a break. We have been talking to Samson Ojeagbase, someone who has proven the validity of the possibility of transferring success from generation to generation. We will go on a break. When we return, he will be telling us about the non-negotiable habits of highly successful people.
For us here at the School of Eloquence, our primary focus is on the art of public speaking because it's a major problem. And public speaking, we must understand, is the raw art of speaker to audience oral communication.
I got a lot more than I actually expected. I have overcome the few years I used to have.
The more you speak, the better you are with speaking.
School of Eloquence is the place you can be, and there's a turnaround. That change you are expecting, you get it there.
All right, welcome back. Mr. Samson Ojeagbase, there are non-negotiable habits of highly successful people. And we see you're a symbol of success. Tell us some of those non-negotiable habits.
Okay. You have a whole day because
Go ahead,
I have
please.
to go into depth. But
Go ahead, please.
at the first point, I usually focus on smart work, not hard work these days, because hard work is carrying block every day. I'm not saying they're not, but smart work is thinking a solution out of a problem. So smart work, you need to work smarter, not work harder. Let your brain do the work. I mean, if someone is doing something in 10 hours, find a way to do it in 5 hours. You get more money for that. Second thing is consistency. You have to do it every day. Every day. Because it's not the first day you do something that you see the results. It's when you do it for like 60th time, 90th time, you start seeing the results you're looking out for. So consistently do it. With every area in life, you have to consistently do something. Yeah. Then, most importantly, your character. I think I've talked about that already because people want to work with people that they can trust. I mean, except they're going to be doing small business. I mean, I think there's this saying that, not even a saying, I'm sure we can think of people that we know that just do shady businesses, especially those artisans. You see that they may have a lot of customers, but they're just not progressing. Yeah, that's because they're just patching. But someone that focuses and says, okay, I want to do a good business, I want people to know me for doing good. If I can't do the job, I'll say I can't do the job. So there's a difference in their life in terms of, apart from the money they make, peace of mind on you just know that there's a difference. And then they can even command more money because people trust them. That trust is what increases your value in the market.
See, focus, consistency, character.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable habits of highly successful people. All right, so let's focus on you. Now, there's a turning point here in career success. We'll say there's a turning point, the point where something turns. What was that turning point decision for you as a person?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but the first time I wrote something was when I was 28 years old. I didn't imagine myself to be a writer. I studied computer science in school, but writing was not something. But at that age of 28, I decided to write something, and it came out well. And from there, it just took it on the life of its own. And like I said, consistency, every day writing, you get better at it. So I would say that's a turning point moment, because apart from the fact that you can write, you see that you can change people's lives. I mean, put out something and you see that, hey, this thing changed someone's lives for much better. So you keep doing that. And that was what's changing for me.
That was a turning point decision when you started writing after 28 years, even though you were born into a publishing house.
Which is funny, yeah?
No, not funny. It just validates one of our truisms here that we like to celebrate, that it's never too late to become what you might have been. All right. So I see. So what next for Samson Ojeagbase? You know, you sound like someone who is forward-looking, and then we have seen the vision you are carrying now to have stayed for 3 decades. So what next for you? Are we expecting to see Success Digest by 2070?
Yeah. If the world is still here, you see Success Digest. So the next step for us is to get Success Digest into more hands.
All right.
I mean, I want to take it international, because the message of success is not a local thing. It's global. So why not talk to more people? And one thing about success is information. The ability to have the right information at the right time is what determines how successful you become. So imagine we can connect people through information. Imagine someone in South America or someone in Nigeria here can see a business opportunity in South America because Success Digest carried it. And then that person uses that business opportunity and becomes very successful. That's the way it is. The world is a global village now. But even though we are more connected, access to that information is not easy to come by. So if we can provide access to that information, and then when they reach Success, they say, okay, yeah, if it's in Success Digest, then it is legit. That is where we want to be. So a global brand that is trusted for information. If it's in Success Digest, it is legit, and I can put my life on it. If somebody says that when I'm on my maybe 100 years old, I'll smile, because mission accomplished.
Oh, I see. Operating locally but making impact globally. So in the pursuit of success, it's not always without obstacles. There are impediments you encounter on the way. And for some people, those impediments can create a detour, a mistake. So what is that wrong step every budding professional, everybody aspiring for success should avoid?
Okay. There are a few I'll mention. The first one is not being able to delay gratification. If you want to hit it big immediately, you see the CEO of your company flying private jet and you want to fly private jet next week, you end up making some funny decisions. That CEO had years of work, which you didn't see. So you have to be able to delay your gratification and work on yourself, build your capacity to get to that point. So that's the first step. They want to jump the line, and that makes people make mistakes that a lot of people don't recover from. The second one, which is something I've hammered on a lot, is character. Your character is what's going to stand for you. If people can trust you and believe this person is going to do his job, I mean that your career is made. Because your reputation is what precedes you. If people know this person, if he says he will do it, forget. More customers will come to you. And not just anybody, high value customers that will pay more will come your way. So take your time, be patient, build your career. Secondly, make sure your character is impeccable. Always keep to your words. Integrity is important. So those two things I believe are the most important things to pay attention to.
Stay consistent, deepen your competence, and maintain a good character. All right, so if you're to tell a young person in one word, in a sentence, in few lines, how to spark and sustain success, what would it be?
Okay. For spark, you need to find what you want to do, and then you need to start doing it. You know, people come up and say, I want to do X, Y, Z, but okay, let me use an example. There's this person that walked up to me and said he wanted to start a business, but nobody's giving him funds and whatnot. Okay, what have you been able to do with the ability you have? And he said, nothing. And I experienced something that if you want to start a journey and want people to support you, you need to just start wherever you can start. So find something you want to do and start doing it. And the more you do it, consistency, the better you get at it. And the better you get at it, the more people will notice what you're doing. And before you know it, it becomes a loop. Success is like a loop. You know, there are some people that anything they touch, they are successful at it. Why? Because they're in that loop already. They do something, they keep working on it until they get what they want, and then before you know it, it takes on a life of its own. So, as a young person looking to start their career, pick one thing you want to do. Like I said, focus. Find that thing you want to do, then keep doing it. Keep improving yourself. That's the smart work. It's not about carrying buckets every day to feel a well. At a point, smart work, you find a way to pump water through a hose into that well without carrying buckets. Yeah. So find what you want to do, constantly do it, get smarter at it, find better ways of doing it, and then be patient. That patience is very, very important, because it's not the day you start, you see the success. It's take a while, but eventually it will come. And when it comes, people know that, where have you been? Like overnight success, but you were doing all the hard work.
I see. I must appreciate you very profoundly for coming on Career Success today. And while we are digesting the success nuggets you have given to us, we will call you again.
Definitely.
There you have it. Words of wisdom from a man who has not only built a career, but built others along the way. Samson Ojeagbase is proof that with purpose, discipline, and hard work, you can create a life of wealth, not just in your bank account, but in your mind, your values, and your impact. To all professionals watching, remember, your career isn't just about rising. It's about rising with meaning. Let's keep the conversation going. Follow our Achievement channel on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for more inspiring stories and updates. Use the hashtag #WeSeePossibilities and share your own experiences with us. Until next time, keep growing, keep building, and keep becoming the best version of yourself.